Tobias Omondi, and in studio we are joined with Mr. Benjamin Shelton. He is the deputy principal at K.I.D.S College. We're going to be having a conversation about education, even as matters of higher education, Mr. Benjamin, they are in a turmoil. I don't know if you have a thing or two to say about that, but we're going to be extending this conversation as far as multilingual education for deaf persons and learners is important. Mr. Benjamin, this month is, I don't know if you are aware, but September is Deaf Awareness Month, and this particular week we are celebrating the Deaf Awareness Week. And yesterday was Sign Language Day. Today it is more focused on education for deaf learners. And given that you are a head principal at a college, you would also be sharing your sentiments about how deaf learners could access technical learning and training, because sometimes there are issues on how persons who are deaf access higher education. I hope you're ready for the conversation.
Yes.
You are ready.
Yes.
Karibu sana na tusalimie.
Thank you. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin,
Yes.
as you've heard. Na nimefurahia. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for granting me this opportunity, even to come and be able to talk about matters education.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Asante sana Bwana Principal. Let us start it off with the matters of national interest, particularly on matters higher education. About a week, the higher institutions of learning where lecturers are on strike. Probably you might not have extensive experience or extensive things to share about that, but what's your overview on the current education crisis in the country? And from where you sit as deputy principal of K.I.D.S, does it affect your institution in any way?
Oh, thank you so much for that. First of all, whatever is happening in the country is that we have had a crisis for quite some time.
Yeah.
Only that it comes up and down at some point, like what we are seeing currently.
Yeah.
Lecturers in public institution are on strike. This one, literally, it affects the education sector as a whole, because we realize that universities have been the utmost aspect of education, that whoever has gone to university, then in our society, you are the most, it is like a measure of success. So if there is such a crisis, then it means there is something that is going wrong. So in a literal sense, it affects the life not only of individuals, but the life of Kenya as a whole.
Yeah.
And therefore, my take is that this thing should not continue. The government that is concerned should find a way, because if it continues, even us at a college level, we are talking about TVET institution, we are affected, because we know that part of, like, let me say, I am a teacher, a lecturer. I lecture colleges because I've learned in universities. And so if universities fail, then even the TVET colleges will also be in trouble. So I want to say that it is a matter of national interest. We are so much concerned. Even as institutions of higher learning, we are so much concerned the way all Kenyans are concerned. Yeah. Yes.
Interesting. And a huge number of students that have been sitting for exams, that is at KCSE level, most of them unfortunately have not been able to be absorbed into institutions of higher learning, and they're choosing to go the route of TVETs and colleges. From your perspective, why this sudden shift? Of course, we understand that the funding model has been attributed as one of the reasons why students aren't choosing to go directly to university. But from your experience and your line of profession, what do you think is pushing students into TVETs and our colleges?
Thank you so much for that question. First of all, as you've put it, the funding model.
Yeah.
But the funding model has come recently.
Yes, absolutely.
But I remember when I was in university myself, I remember the very first year, I actually desired that I should have taken the path of a college first.
Yeah, before you go
because I went direct entry, but I desired that I would have gone first of all to do a diploma before I now embark on the college. And the reason for that is because the education itself at a university level, you sometimes come out of that university and you ask yourself, so what have I gained? Now, it may not sound good to some, but that is the literal case, the truth that is there. And even a few students I've interacted with and a few parents I've interacted with whose children actually qualified for university, but they have chosen to go the TVET way. One of the main reasons is because they think that the education they are going to get in university, if that is the first one, then it will waste them in a way, because one is that it is so much theoretical, but also that contact with the teacher is very small. You realize that the whole 4 years, perhaps not even a half of it, you have a contact with the teacher. And now with the strikes and all, and in the recent past, the whole country can be able to attest that we have had such a problem. So today, so many students are like, let me go to the college because there are no strikes in colleges. That one we can tell for sure. But universities, you find the whole 6 months, students are not learning. So that could be the issue.
Then Principal, then the question is bugged. What is the difference between university and college education? What are the disparities in terms of training? Because mtu mwenye kuna university degree kijijini, huyu ndiye amesoma. Kwanza ukisema uko na diploma wanasema sasa nini? Uwezi ongea mbele ya mtu wa degree. But now you're sharing that unfortunately, and it's true that the people who have gone to university and they have seen their lecturer only once. So for the viewer who is watching, what is the differentiation between a university and a college, and probably the models of administering the education itself?
Number one, when you go to a university, because I've been there, the teaching itself, now it is supposed to be good, it is supposed to be proper, only that now how universities operate and the management on, that is a place where everybody is deemed, assumed that they know what to do. But now you'll realize that even the teacher himself may not know and may also want to do their thing. You will find, I remember there was a unit actually that we, for the whole 4 months, we only learned 3 days. And we went and sat for the exam. And even the students knew, this lecturer, they will set for you exams, what they have taught. So you will not fail. But now the problem is, if you will not fail because they have taught what they taught and they have taught it only 3 times, then what will be the outcome of that? No wonder you find we have so many people with the degrees, but one, they don't have a job, but also you give them that job, they struggle with it. And right now we are even teaching in various colleges. Some people with the university degrees, coming back to do diplomas. Why? Because yes, they got the job, but they are struggling to do
the skills.
But now you go to TVET, you realize that there is no option. The tutor has to teach. Why? Because actually the teaching at the TVET compared to high school, there is a very small difference, because you have direct contact with the student, and as you are instructing them, you also have to be there. No wonder you'll find that even there is a we call them what? A class teacher who is responsible for a certain group. Why? Because you have to start with them and will go with them until they finish. So that kind of a difference, it actually makes the colleges that today, students who actually have an idea of what they are going to do and they are very serious with it, they are like, no, whatever I've had in the university, let me go the TVET way, so that even if I will go there, why? Because it is true, like you said, in the village today, you go there with a diploma and people will be like, you have not studied. You go with a degree and you are the person. So let me go, first of all, I gain the skill. Why? Because in colleges you will get the skill. You will know how to do
hands-on.
The hands-on. But in university, myself personally, I normally say that is managerial. You are simply going to be taught how you will be managing those who are doing. But now the question in our country today is, how are you going to manage those ones who are doing? Yet we don't have those ones who are doing. You are supposed to be the one doing it. So that is where
that's a conundrum in itself. There is something that you've said, and I found really fascinating, that when you are in a university, you are deemed to know what to do. But I'm straight out of high school. I'm 19, 18, 20 thereabout. Why would you assume I know what I'm supposed to do?
And that is the problem that we have in universities. You find somebody, go to the university and you'll find that the very first year, all students are very green. They don't know even where to start. A lecturer comes and then gives you have to write a term paper. First of all, even you don't know what a term paper is. And the same lecturer is not there to guide you
what a term paper is.
But you know, the convincing aspect is that you are now in a university, you need to do a research, find out what to do. But you know, out of 100 students or out of 100 people, I will tell you for sure,
10 or 20.
Only 10 or 20%, they will be the one to drive themselves to do that. The rest, they want you to tell them what to do. No wonder today we have a crisis even in the job market. That we have so many graduates, they have first class, they have second class upper, but you give them what to do and they cannot. Thank God that today, many corporate organizations, they have what we call training. That before you start doing a job, you train. That thing helps a lot. If you don't train that person, I tell you the truth, they may not know what to do.
Interesting. But then as today we are looking at multilingual education for deaf learners and how deaf persons get to study, then colleges and TVETs would be the best place for them to start receiving an education, to sort of graduate their education and get skills. With the vast experience that you have you interacted with deaf learners in TVETs or colleges, or even particularly persons with disabilities, and how has the experience been?
Thank you for that question. Because literally, like in our college, we teach and we have the Kenya Sign Language. Now what happens is that with the disabled or deaf particularly, they can be able to learn with others. Only that for them it is a bit specific. Like let me again take you back when I was in university, where I used to interact with those students who are doing a program, and especially they were doing education. Special needs education it's called. And they were deaf. And some of them even they were blind. One thing that I realized is that those guys, they can interact with these other students very well. The only thing is that if there is any special equipment that they need, let them be provided with it. The only group that I may have an issue with is particularly the group which has a problem with, we call them the mind.
Persons with psychosocial disabilities.
That one, it might be a bit harder. But these other physical issues, like you are deaf, you are blind, those guys, they can be put with the rest. Only that whatever they require, let them be given. Like for example, those ones who are blind, they require the braille machines. Those ones who are deaf, and they can see, let them be given. I see today, even in this media, I can see already there is somebody who is signing. You know, if that is the case, these guys, they like to interact with the others. In fact, they don't like to be sidelined. Because to them, they feel life is normal. And even to me as a person, I feel like let us interact with them normally. Why? Because with them, they will also learn from us. And you know, even at the job market, you will realize that it will not sideline sideline them.
You will not find special jobs.
Yes, on the same platform.
Yeah.
So I think that at a learning perspective, at a college, at a school level, let us be able to accommodate them.
Yeah.
Only that now that they are a bit special,
yeah,
let them also provide for them what they need so that they can be able to study also.
Yeah, I don't know if I will be pinning you down, Bwana Principal. From a kid's perspective, yes, what do you think you would be able to, because one of the reasons why persons with disabilities might not be able to go to an institution such as K.I.D.S, and as you've rightly put it, is that the assistive devices that they might need, a sign language interpreter, a braille machine, or even an aid within the institution, or even accessibility, finding ramps and finding accessible washrooms in an institution, that might be the reason why they do not go to these institutions. So from a K.I.D.S perspective, what would you be able to put in place to say, okay, we are going to start small, so that now we are able to include these persons? Because besides the few that you saw at higher levels of education, probably at universities, there are those who unfortunately are not able to gain the grades that take them directly to a university, and they are supposed to go through colleges and TVETs. But now, if they are not accessible, if institutions such as K.I.D.S are not going an extra mile to make them available for them, then they might not be able to receive an education. From a principal's perspective, which are some of the things that you think you could be able to do to make K.I.D.S more accessible for students with disabilities?
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
First of all, right now what we are doing,
yeah,
I've had some interaction with actually a few.
Yeah.
And just like we said, we have a Kenya Sign Language Department.
Yeah.
And with that, the tutors who are doing it,
yeah, then actually, they could also come in as sign language interpreters.
They are actually deaf. They are deaf.
Yeah.
And you realize that even when other deaf students come,
yeah,
already they find there is a community
that they can be a part of.
Yes. And then number two is that as we train, we are training students, the normal students also to know how to sign, and they go out. But we also have tutors, and also those ones that may not be literally tutors, but they are there for that very purpose. And that is why I may not have done sign language, but I interact with them because they are somebody that if I want something and I want to communicate and it is not very direct, then automatically there is somebody who can be able to assist. But also there is the aspect of sharing, and that one specifically when it comes to equipment, that whoever the guardian, whoever the parent, now we may have to agree, so that if maybe an equipment is a bit expensive, we may be able to have an understanding that, hey, this student has to learn. And how can we be able to acquire this? If it is something that the parent will be able to acquire without any issue, that is okay. But if not, then we can be able to sit down and agree. Why? Because at that point of admission, all these things happen. Why? Because at the end of the day, this is a person, when I'm talking, they can be able to hear very well. The problem is that they cannot see. Or this is a person that when I'm talking to them, I'm teaching them, they cannot hear, but they can see me. Then there is those aids that they normally put in the ears. How expensive is it? Are we able to acquire them? So as K.I.D.S, technical college, we are able to enter into an agreement with that parent, with that guardian, because at the end of the day, even we deal with that the guardian, so that where we can come in, so that the student can be able to be well equipped, they will be able, so that they can access that education.
Prof, Principal, one thing I'm appreciating is that you're not just admitting students, but you want to admit students with the right equipment for them to be able to thrive in those institutions, because you'd find there are colleges who would just admit for the sake of getting the school fees without really understanding how is this person going to receive education more inclusively and more accessibly, so that once they go through the value chain, they are able to participate in the society fully. I want us to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about A few other things, the place of tertiary education in Kenya, the value of education to a community, and all of that. But before we go, there is something that you said. This is just a correction. Students who are normal, necessarily, principal. Everybody has a degree of abnormal in them. So the word you would use is a learner with a disability or a learner without a disability, so that the language is inclusive. Because when we talk about normal, what is really normal? In real sense.
That one I accept.
Yeah.
That one I accept.
But it's a matter of yeah, it's a matter of just learning, and
Yes.
given that you are new in the space,
Yes.
then ours is just to walk the journey
Yes.
with you.
I take the correction.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're coming back with Deputy Principal Mr. Shelton of K.I.D.S Technical College, and we are talking matters education. So keep it signs.